Hi again, readers. Welcome to the Bible in a Year Live Chronological Project podcast. Today is day 6 of week 23, and we'll be reading from the Complete Jewish Bible, Proverbs chapter 10 to 12. Let's dive in. The Proverbs of Shlomo. A wise son is a joy to his father, but a foolish son is a grief to his mother. No good comes from ill-gotten wealth, but righteousness rescues from death. Adonai does not let the righteous go hungry, but he thwarts the craving of the wicked. Idle hands bring poverty. Diligent hands bring wealth. A sensible person gathers in summer, but he who sleeps during harvest is an embarrassment. Blessings are for the head of the righteous, but the speech of the wicked is a cover for violence. The memory of the righteous will be for a blessing, but the reputation of the wicked will rot. Wise-hearted people take orders, but a babbling fool will have trouble. He who walks purely walks securely, but he who walks in crooked ways will be found out. He who winks his eye instead of rebuking causes pain, yet a babbling fool will have trouble. The speech of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the speech of the wicked is a cover for violence. Hate stirs up disputes, but love covers all kinds of transgressions. On the lips of the intelligent is found wisdom, but a stick is in store for the back of a fool. Wise people hide their knowledge, but when a fool speaks, ruin is imminent. The wealth of the rich is his fortified city. The ruin of the poor is their poverty. The activity of the righteous is for life. The income of the wicked is for sin. He who observes discipline is on the way to life, but he who ignores correction is making a mistake. He who covers up hate has lips that lie, and anyone who slanders is a fool. When words are many, sin is not lacking. So he who controls his speech is wise. The tongue of the righteous is like pure silver, but the mind of the wicked is worth little. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for lack of sense. The blessing of Adonai is what makes people rich, and he doesn't mix sorrow with it. To a fool, vileness is like a game, as is wisdom to a person of discernment. What a fool dreads will overtake him, but the righteous will be given his desire. When the storm has passed, the wicked are gone, but the righteous are firmly established forever. Like vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes is a lazy person to his employer. The fear of Adonai adds length to life, but the years of the wicked are cut short. What the righteous hope for will end in joy. What the wicked expect will come to nothing. The way of Adonai is a stronghold to the upright, but ruin to those who do evil. The righteous will never be moved, but the wicked will not remain in the land. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut off. The lips of the righteous know what is wanted, but the mouth of the wicked knows deceit. Chapter 11. False scales are an abomination to Adonai, but accurate weights please him. First comes pride, then disgrace, but the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them. First comes pride, then disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the duplicity of the treacherous destroys them. On the day of wrath, wealth doesn't even help, but righteousness rescues from death. The righteousness of the innocent levels their way, but wickedness of the wicked makes them fall. The righteousness of the upright rescues them, but the treacherous are trapped by their own intrigues. When a wicked man dies, his hope perishes. What he hopes for from evil comes to nothing. The righteous is delivered from trouble, and the wicked comes to take his place. With his mouth, the hypocrite can ruin his neighbor, but by knowledge the righteous are delivered. When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices, and when the wicked perish, there is joy. By the blessing of the upright, a city is raised up, but the words of the wicked tear it down. He who belittles another lacks good sense, whereas a person of discernment stays silent. A gossip goes around revealing secrets, but a trustworthy person keeps a confidence. Without clever tactics, an army is defeated, and victory comes from much planning. He who guarantees a loan for a stranger will suffer, but refusing to underwrite is safe. A gracious woman obtains honor. Aggressive men obtain wealth. A man who is kind does himself good, but the cruel does harm to himself. The profits of the wicked are illusory, but those who sow righteousness gain a true reward. Genuine righteousness leads to life, but the pursuer of evil goes to his own death. The crooked-hearted are an abomination to Adonai, but those sincere in their ways are his delight. Depend on it, the evil will not go unpunished, but the offspring of the righteous will escape. Like a gold ring in the snout of a pig is a beautiful woman who lacks good sense. The righteous desire only good, but what the wicked hope for brings wrath. Some give freely and still get richer, while others are stingy but grow still poorer. The person who blesses others will prosper. He who satisfies others will be satisfied himself. The people will curse him who withholds grain, but if he sells it, blessings will be on his head. He who strives for good obtains favor, but he who searches for evil, it comes to him. He who trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like sprouting leaves. Those who trouble their families inherit the wind, and the fool will become slave to the wise. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who is wise wins souls. If the righteous are paid what they deserve here on earth, how much more the wicked and the sinner? Chapter 12. He who loves knowledge loves discipline, but he who hates correction is a bore. A good man obtains Adonai's favor, but the schemer his condemnation. No one is made secure by wickedness, but the roots of the righteous will never be moved. A capable wife is a crown for her husband, but a shameful one is like rot in his bones. The plans of the righteous are just, but the schemes of the wicked are deceitful. The words of the wicked are a deadly ambush, but the speech of the upright rescues them. Once the wicked are down, it's the end of them, but the house of the upright endures. A person wins praise in keeping with his common sense, but a person with a warped mind is treated with contempt. Better to be despised and have a servant than to boast of one's status but have nothing to eat. A righteous man takes care of his animal, but the wicked, even his compassion is cruel. He who farms his land will have plenty of food, but he who follows futilities has no sense. The wicked covet the loot of the evil men, but the root of the righteous gives forth of itself. The wicked is trapped by his own sinful speech, but the righteous finds a way out of trouble. One can be filled with good as a result of one's words, and one gets the reward one's deeds deserve. Fools suppose their way is straight, but the wise pay attention to advice. A fool's anger is known at once, but a cautious person slighted conceals his feelings. He who tells the truth furthers justice, but a false witness furthers deceit. Idle talk can pierce like a sword, but the tongue of the wise can heal. Truthful words will stand forever, lying speech but a moment. Deceit is in the heart of those who plot evil, but for those advising peace there is joy. No harm can come to the righteous, but the wicked are overwhelmed with disaster. Lying lips are an abomination to Adonai, but those who deal faithfully are his delight. A cautious person conceals knowledge, but the heart of a fool blurts out folly. The diligent will rule, while the lazy will be put to forced labor. Anxiety in a person's heart weighs him down, but a kind word cheers him up. The righteous guides his friends away rightly, but the way of the wicked will lead them astray. A lazy man doesn't roast what he hunted, but when a man is diligent, his wealth is precious. In the road of righteousness is life. No death is in its pathway. Amen. Remember that you're invited to join us every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Zoom. The details to join that meeting are in the description. We usually discuss all the things that we've read during that week. You can also find more information about this podcast on our website at Biayl.Project.com. Happy reading, and we'll see you here again tomorrow.